Good news. The weather's nice and sunny today, so I'm expecting a good track at Randwick on Saturday, and that's where we're concentrating this week's preview. So we have the Sydney Cup, and we're going to just go through the Randwick races quickly to give you an idea. Important, if you want to get the info, you should probably pause it and just write that down if you want it. For example, in Randwick Race 1, um, all horses are on penalties in this. It's just a matter of how long it was since the last start. Some of them are still maidens, but you can see here that the 1 and the 7 have got equal rating regardless of what we do with this negative rating over here. So that's the first race, 1 and 7, in race number 2. Okay, haven't bothered worrying about this too much, although you can see that Interjection and Duck and Blue are both the top runners in this particular race, and it won't make a lot of difference to what we do about penalties. You wouldn't worry about it. You'll also notice that for this distance where barrier penalty is not applied at Randwick. Okay. In race 3, this is the Midway Championship. It's only worth $1 million or so, or whatever. 10 million? Who knows? Who cares? Okay, the problem with this particular race is that all these horses come from various places, and it makes it very hard to truly measure them one against the other. But nevertheless, you can see that the first 4 here are all under around $10, $11. As a matter of fact, this one looks as if it's going to be favourite Magna Star. Who knows what it'll be tomorrow or Saturday. In race 4, this is the first race that I'm going to bet on, and in this one I will back off on Tempted. Did okay on the race itself, did okay on the slipper, but Tempted was the one that had the big money on it for me, and I think it's easy enough to back up on that. As a matter of fact, the first 3 runners here are the only ones to consider within my view, and Tempted would have done much better had it not had a problem last start when it had a bit of bad luck in the running. In race 5, this is easy enough. We don't have to do anything too much about this. We can just stick to Imperial Force. It appears like it's going to be a good price. Autumn Glow has never been beaten and is looking like it's going to be odds on Saturday. But I would still prefer to be on Imperial Force. And it's had 2 wins in a row, and that's probably the one that's hardest to beat. In race 6, we haven't got to the Sydney Cup yet, but in race 6, it's 2,400 metres. It's the Australian Oaks. And these 2, the 1 and the 3 from New Zealand, are going to be the hardest beat quite clearly. And we'll just have to wait and see how they go at the distance and so on, and on the good track. So as a matter of interest, if it were to be a wet track, which it's not, they would be highlighted and be even more likely to win. Okay, in race 7, I wonder what this race is. It just happens to be the Sydney Cup. Now, the 2 runners I like in this are Waltham and Alicante. I see them as my main likely ones. Unfortunately, number 20, Waltham, it looks as though it may be an emergency and consequently may not even get a start. So we'd have to rely on it getting a start to be a goer. If it's not that one, we would then end, if we take that out, you can see that we would then end with Alcalance, still the most likely to win, from Birdman. So we just put Waltham back in for now, and we'll wait and see what happens. Okay, but one way or another, we're not going to have a problem putting it in for, if we want, the first leg of the quaddie. In race 8, now Via Sistina, we know this is going to be favourite for certain, but if there's any letdown with Via Sistina, then Seal Wolf and Light Infantryman would be genuine chances in this. They won't beat Via Sistina as her best, but they're worthy opponents anyway, so if anything goes wrong with Via Sistina in the run, these are the 2 that I would prefer to be on. In race 9, Fangirl. Well, Fangirl was set down to start here in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, but it looks like she will probably start in here. It's a much easier race. Queen of the Turf Stakes up against fillies in mares would be very, very hard to beat, with Lazura, who ran a second last start, as the hardest to beat. And in the last, okay, nearly getting there. As you've seen, you've got all these here, and you know that at any stage at all, you can pause this video and write down your observations. As a matter of fact, when you go to play the video, it's a good idea to turn your caps on, which means you can actually see what I'm talking about. Anyway, so in this last leg, I'd be sitting to these three, 3, 5 and 9 as our best chances. I wouldn't go any further than that. Tis Invincible hasn't won a race for a couple of years, so I'm prepared to leave it out as a chance. So a very interesting day on Saturday, a big race day. There are worthwhile having the odd bet all the way through the program, if that's what you want to do, and it certainly gives you a break in between, 30 minutes in between, to decide whether you should have invested on that previous race or not. In any case, I know the tab has a lot of money back options on Saturday, so you get a chance to take a money back option on virtually each of your single choices and to get some money back that way. Very good talking to you, and I hope to do something again later.